All right, the topic of discussion is combustion instability. Now, we're going to try to answer these three questions. Can a rocket explode in midair while you're firing the rocket and while the rocket is moving towards the target? Is there any possibility that it explodes in midair? And the first one, okay. The second one is, can sound waves affect the rate of combustion? Like if you observe a flame or a combustion process, can in any way is that possible that a sound wave can increase or decrease the rate of combustion? And if that is possible, what could be the physics that is involved? So to give you context, we're going to try to think of these three questions. So the first question is, if a rocket explodes in midair, that is the case, what could be the reason? The reason could be something like you can think of the chamber pressure. Let's say this is a rocket, okay. This is your rocket, and you have a particular, you can take any kind of rocket, whether it's a solid propellant or a liquid propellant. The amount of gas which is created inside is actually forced through this nozzle. That is how you get the thrust. So obviously you have a chamber pressure here. Inside here you have a chamber pressure TC, okay, or PC. So this chamber pressure, if this chamber pressure, the amount of gas which is leaving the nozzle, if the amount of gas which is generated inside the shell is greater than, so amount of gas generated, if this is greater than the amount of gas leaving the nozzle, okay, then the chamber pressure increases and there is every possibility that this rocket could explode in midair. So when you say that the chamber pressure increases, the only reason is more and more of propellant mass is burned out, okay, and you cannot control it. Actually the rocket was designed so that it is burned in a particular rate, and the amount of gas leaving is, you can control that if it is at a liquid propellant or in a solid propellant. So the solid propellant, you have a particular grain configuration for that. In liquid propellant, the amount of fuel, the liquid propellant which is injected onto the nozzle, you control that rate, the amount of injection, or you regulate the injection to control that amount of mass created or the gas generated. So this is the way you control it. But for some reasons, if that doesn't work out and the amount of gas which is created generated inside the chamber pressure increases, it may explode. So that is our first thought. Now the second is, can sound waves affect combustion rate? Now what is sound waves actually? Sound waves, when you say sound waves, do not get confused that sound waves is all those pressure perturbations which is audible, okay. Whenever you say sound wave, the students get confused, like, oh, it's audible, sound is a form of energy and it is audible. No, it's not. It doesn't mean that it is always audible. When you say sound wave is just a pressure perturbation. Pressure perturbation in the sense, if you create a pressure disturbance at this point, the traveling of the pressure waves, okay, it is actually the waves travel in forms of expansion and compression waves, okay. So in fact the fluid or the medium doesn't move actually. The medium actually transfers energy, a small portion of energy, by vibrating, just like this, okay. That is your sound wave. Any pressure perturbation can be termed as a sound wave. So any pressure perturbation, like how can, suppose you have a shell, a cavity, okay. So you can have any glass tumbler. If you just knock at a glass tumbler, it will produce a sound that is audible. Similarly, if you have a shell, okay, rocket is nothing but a shell. If you have a mechanical vibration here, that creates a pressure wave. Okay. Now if you spray a fuel, okay, at a very high pressure, it will also create a pressure disturbance and a pressure wave travels. See, now you have another thing which maybe you haven't thought of. Suppose what happens if some heat energy is released, or some sort of, I can't say it's an explosion, but still you can think of it as a heat release. Heat is being released, heat release. That is also a pressure perturbation. Pressure waves travel. And what happens when a pressure waves travel in a cavity? It actually travels at a particular rate, okay, based on the temperature of the medium, and it hits its walls and then travels back. Okay, so it actually goes to and fro. Okay, so that is how you create a musical instrument sound in a flute, or any in a violin, or a guitar. That is how you create a sound. Okay, you just give a pressure perturbation, and it actually creates a standing wave. Okay, it actually creates something called a standing wave, just like this. Okay, and if you change the harmonics of this, you'll get different audible sounds. So similarly, the pressure perturbations, oscillate to and fro, and it can be constructive or destructive. So suppose you have a wave like this, okay, and this sound wave, you have its amplitude like this, and suppose the wave that comes back is actually opposite to this one, something like this, the same phase, with the same phase. What happens if you add up this is a destructive pattern. Okay, it cancels out. Whereas if we have the same kind of wave, okay, and the reflected wave is also the same kind of wave, it both adds up and the amplitude actually doubles, something like this. Okay, it actually doubles up. Okay, so this wave, the sound wave created, or the pressure wave which goes and comes back, if for some reason, because it always depends on the volume or the cavity space, and because of several reasons, okay, the frequency at which the perturbation is created, and because of several reasons, if it adds up, the amplitude of the sound wave increases. So let's say if you think of it as a diaphragm, okay, I've said that the sound wave is just like transferring, it's oscillating, it's a compression and expansion wave pattern, right? So if amplitude increases, definitely the more energy is transferred in the oscillation of the sound, or if the amplitude increases, it actually enhances the compression and rarefication, or the compression and expansion of the medium. Okay, so that is about the sound wave. Does it affect the combustion rate? So it affects the combustion rate. So what happens when you enhance the amplitude? It actually creates the medium to expand and contract vigorously. So this actually, if you have a combustible mixture, oxygen and a combustible gas in the vicinity, it enhances its mixing up. Okay, it just creates a very turbulent mixing up, and because of this particles are it is actually split up into small micron size particles, and it gets gradually mixed up thoroughly, and the heat release rate becomes very high. So the rate at which the heat is released is enhanced if the amplitude increases. So we'll see a video, okay, depicting or describing this kind of sound waves affecting a combustion, and then we'll come back. So now that we have created a context, we know while you fire a rocket, there could be a chance that it can explode in mid-air, and that could be because of combustion instability. Now, what is combustion instability? So whenever you have the acoustic field created inside the shell of the rocket, enhancing the heat release, and if it happens progressively, okay, could lead to the higher vibration and explosion of the rocket, and this phenomenon is called combustion instability. Now, there are two kinds of instabilities in a broader sense. One is bulk mode of instability and wave mode of instability. Bulk mode is something like the whole of the gas inside the rocket shell is actually oscillating in unison. Okay, it expands and contracts like this. The gas inside the shell oscillates it in unison. The whole of the gas oscillates in unison. Whereas in wave mode, you can think of a standing wave, something like this. So the pressure wave, it is a pressure. At this point, if you consider, the pressure will be very less, whereas here the amplitude of the pressure will be high, and this is the first harmonic. So the next note, the pressure will be less. The other note, the pressure will be again high. So this kind of wave mode, okay, if we have, so unlike the bulk mode, the gases at this point experiences low pressure, and gas at this point experiences a high pressure. So this kind of oscillation is termed as wave mode. Okay, so I've explained this bulk mode and wave mode, the reasons why it occurs in my lecture note. You can refer to that.
The Rubens tube, named after 19th century physicist Henrik Rubens, is a fairly common but striking demonstration of standing waves. Using a simple signal generator app, I can send a pure tone through the tube. This causes the flame heights to adjust. It starts off fairly simply. As we open the valve to the pressurized tank containing our liquid propane, gaseous propane fills the tube and raises the interior pressure, which we've labeled here as P sub T, to just a bit above atmospheric pressure, P sub 0. As we light the tube, we can see some indication of the flow rate through each hole by the flame height. Making several assumptions and using Bernoulli's equation, we find that that flow rate should be proportional to the square root of the pressure difference between the atmosphere and inside the tube. Now as we start pumping sound through the tube, our speaker creates pressure waves which travel down through the tube, reflect off the metal cap, and travel back. If we're at the right frequency, a high pressure peak leaving the speaker will consistently meet up with a low pressure trough returning from the cap, thereby canceling each other out and creating what we call nodes. At other locations, a high pressure peak will meet another high pressure peak, creating what we call antinodes. Adding these two pressures together, we end up with what we call standing waves. When the pressure is at its highest, a jet of fuel is ejected from the hole at the antinode. This fuel is ignited, which creates heat, which rises and carries the combustion products and unspent fuel further away from the hole.